What's going on, YouTube? We're going to continue our rep equipment series. I'm just basically walking around the gym and going through all the rep equipment that we have, kind of talking about each individual piece, things that we like about it, things that, I think could be better, but for the most part, man, really good equipment. We've been really happy with it. So today we're talking about the Rep AB-5200 bench. And trying to do reviews with my dog, so we'll see how this goes. All right, stay tuned. Okay, today we're talking about the Rep Fitness AB-5200. This is probably by far the most popular bench that Rep sells. I think it's probably close between this one and the Zero Gap bench, which is a really nice bench. I don't own that bench, so I can't really give you any feedback on it, but I've heard good things and a lot of guys really like it. Okay, we're back. One thing I have to stop doing is clapping my hands when I'm doing reviews with my dog. He just comes right over. He thinks it's like we're playing here, and he's doing exactly like he's doing it right now. Look at that. Okay, right back to where we started here. Okay, back with you. I had to let him go run around for a bit. He just wanted to play too much, and yeah, there's no way I could get through this review at all with him constantly wanting to play. So he'll be back. But we're talking about the Rep Fitness AB-5200. Talking about how popular it is, and its competition is going to be the Rogue benches, and it comes down to when you're thinking about the decision between a Rogue bench or this bench, you're going to be getting very similar, I would say very similar quality. Rogue might have the advantage in a couple spots, but they're about the same weight. They're about the same, they're very similar. So for me, when I look at the Rogue bench and I look at, say, a Rep bench, I fixate on the cost after shipping and taxes and everything else. And if it's a difference of $200 or $300, I'm going to end up going towards the Rep bench. If it does everything I want it to do, I don't see a reason to spend a lot more money on the Rogue bench. I've heard also people not happy with the Rogue coverings on their benches. I really like Rep's bench covers. They're just awesome. They're grippy when they need to be, but they're also smooth if you're cleaning them or whatever. And the firmness is perfect. I haven't had any issues with that. In fact, this is my favorite bench in the gym, and I know I just reviewed the AB-3000 and talked about that as a great all-around bench, and it has decline. But for me, and for if you want to take it, spend a little more money, this to me is a better bench in a lot of ways, and it is more expensive, but for me it's worth it. And if you just want to get one bench that's going to do everything very well, this is the one to get for sure. And it's an incline bench. It uses the same system, same ladder system as the AB-3000. It's same as most of all the adjustable benches on the market. They all have a cutout ladder system. This one is actually enclosed. I really like how it has the guard on it so that you can't, basically, this can't escape the contraption. It stays in there, so it's really nice. These also have a laser cutout of your angles. Honestly, and I don't know how long I've been working out, 20 years or 30, I don't know, since 1994. I've never cared once about the angle of my incline bench. So you kind of go off feel, right? But that just gives you, at least you can remember where you were at, I guess. And then on the front, there's no pins. It's just a simple pull it up, and you can set it up that way. Now, let's talk about the stability of this bench. So the stability is really good. There's two things that I'd like to see improved in future designs, not just for Rep, but for Rogue, for all the major manufacturers or fitness companies, is they use a single bolt pivot. And right here, there's a bolt, and you'll see that with most of the different benches on the market. And what that causes is if you have any play in your bench at all, you'll see right now, I'm shaking this thing. I'm actually rocking the entire bench. There is zero play in this backrest. Now, you will find or get play if that bolt down there is loose. And I have a hack for that bolt, and I'm gonna make a separate video because it's kind of its own thing, and I wanna teach you, I wanna show you this little secret that I figured out to make this thing even more rock solid. And that'll be a different video, I'll talk about that. But some guys are complaining that this AB-5200 isn't solid. Trust me, this thing is rock solid, and they all are. As long as you get all your bolts tight and you've got it set up right, you won't have any issues. So yeah, that's one thing that I've heard. So manufacturers, I'd like to see that pivot, instead of a single bolt, go to a 2 bolts or change that design somehow. There's just too much play on one bolt trying to support your backrest and your seat area. Now, it works good if you keep up on the bolt and you do the hack that I'm going to show you later. It'll stay rock solid and you won't have any issues. But that's a common issue that I hear, or guys complain about. They say, "Oh, there's a lot of play in my bench," and I've heard it with Rogue too. And usually it's that bolt down there. So yeah, this bench here. Let's talk about the finish. This is the metallic black finish. I don't believe they make it in a matte. It wasn't in stock when I ordered it, but everything in the gym is matte. It blends in pretty well. I don't think you can really tell a difference. If you can see the benches behind there, those are matte finish. This is metallic. It looks pretty similar. What I really like about this bench is the length of your upper pad is a little bit longer than most of the manufacturers, and it's the right width. It's a little bit wider than Rogue's, and I think it's longer than Rogue's, and it works really well. It's awesome. It's just the right, they made the padding perfectly. No issues with that at all. And I really like that. Like I said, this is my favorite bench in the gym. This is, if I'm doing incline dumbbells, this is the bench I'm gonna grab like 9 times out of 10. Unless she's got this bench and she's working out on it, then I'm gonna switch to the 3000, but this thing is the one that I'm going for every time. It's really solid. Weight-wise, you wanna get a workout in, just go and move this bench around. It's stupid heavy, like it's ridiculous. Okay, let's talk about, I've got this wired mic, so I'm like tethered to the camera. One other area here that could be improved on, and I think this is fairly common with Rogue and Rep and a lot of the different companies, is the front pad. For some reason, they don't want to make it wider. They kind of get narrowed up, and they seem to get narrower and narrower. This front pad could be a little bit wider. It's not a huge deal. Like I said, I'm shaking it. I can barely move it, but the more stability, the better in a bench. And if you look at some of the competition benches and the really high-end benches, you'll see that there's more support to the ground. So that's something that I think that Rep could improve on, is just widen that out. Even if it was just 2 inches wider, that would make a nice difference. And they've put a rubber pad underneath there. I would probably say almost skip that pad and just put a wider footprint on the front. The handle is great, no issues with the handle. Like I said, again, this thing is, you'll feel the weight of it when you move it for the first time. You know exactly what I'm talking about. But it moves really easy. The wheels work really well, no issues there. And again, the padding is perfect. Yeah, I really like the bench. And if you want to check out the specs and go over all the little details and everything, check the bench out on Rep Fitness's website. I'm going to put a link in the description box and in the comments so you can check that out. If you have any questions about us using it over the last year or so, shoot me a question in the comments. I try to keep the video simple and short. So that covers the Rep Fitness AB-5200. If you enjoy the content, please support the channel. You can do that by using the link and shopping at Rep Fitness. And also check out our Instagram. And yeah, it's a lot of work shooting these videos. So, it takes a lot of time, and there's not a lot, there's no YouTube money. So if you think there is, there's not. I mostly do these videos to try to help people build gyms and figure out what they want to use. And I come from a background where I don't need to have the best of everything. I try to look at the specs, and I try to do all the research to try to help you out. So when we bought our equipment, we bought everything in the gym. Nothing was given to us. We're not sponsored by anybody. We tried to pick stuff that for the money made the most sense. It might not be the very best, but spending, $2,000 on a bench just doesn't make sense to me when you can buy one for say $600. So that's where we're coming from with our gym build. And yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.